Hello and welcome to episode 80 of the Beards and Bitcoins podcast. Today we are going to be breaking down the coronavirus, how it's affecting the markets, and how it may affect you. Then for token time, we're going to be looking at Cardano, and in man spreading, we want to know, do you believe in participation trophies? Please don't forget to rate and review us on SoundCloud or iTunes, and drop a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Also, make sure to please visit beardsandbitcoins.com to listen to all episodes and register for your free copy of the 21 Best Bitcoin Practices Guide. All right, guys, without further ado, let's get to the episode.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Beards and Bitcoins. We are a crypto podcast for the man's man and the ladies that love him. I am your co-host, Jay Chains. Joined with me, as always, is my homie, BitBoy. How you doing, my man?
Dude, what is going on? Another week.
Another week. Here we go. Let's get started.
Let's do it.
Well, I mean, it's Tuesday, so the week's already started. Taco Tuesday over here.
Yeah, but you guys will be listening to this on Thursday, so the week's almost over for them. So, hey.
All right, man. I want to get right into this because I've got a question for you, all right? We got to talk about TikTok.
Yeah.
You recently, I think it was maybe last week, you hit 1 million followers. What does that feel like? And while we're talking about this, you got to make sure that you can give some advice to some of the listeners out there that are trying to grow an audience. So if you got like a tip or strategy that you can give to as an antidote, just let them know.
Yeah, so, I'm always talking about how in crypto, we go to these crypto conferences and how it's like we're the most famous Beanie Baby collector at a Beanie Baby conference. Like, that's really what crypto is. Like, it's such a small niche. But what's actually happened to me over the last few weeks transcends that. So I went super viral on TikTok, and I have over 1 million followers now, 1.1 million followers, heading towards 1.2 million now. And I just give interesting facts. Like, I talk about stuff on the dark web. I talk about, world's strangest deaths. I've talked about like American monster sightings, and people love it. And I have a name. My name over there is not BitBoy. It's CEO of Facts. So my username is @Facts, FACTS CEO, @Facts CEO. And it's really blown up. And it's so crazy because people recognize me everywhere now. When I'm in places. Like,
are you serious?
Yeah, for sure. At the gym, people are recognizing me. Church, people are recognizing me. Like, people recognize me. And my sister, she goes to college up in North Georgia, and she says all of her friends think she's famous because she knows me.
That's hilarious. It's crazy.
Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, the main demographic for TikTok is 16 to 24 right now, but that's changing. Definitely older people are starting to get on, and the content's changing. So I'm not doing dance videos. I'm not doing lip singing videos. I'm not doing,
right.
Any of the silly stuff that people do. Like, I'm actually like giving people information, and I think there's a good niche for that. So, but it's definitely been, really crazy. Like, here's a good, for instance, like my mom texted me, and she said that her friend that she used to work with when I was a kid, like I'm talking like 30 years ago, texted her and said, "Oh my gosh, your son is famous on TikTok." She said, "My two 12-year-old boys are going crazy because I know you." And anyway, the long and short is she asked my mom to get me to follow her two boys, and like it like made their day, like just me following them. And so
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been like a whirlwind for sure, and hopefully it just continues, because for me, honestly, like, this is a good way to draw people to crypto eventually. And
give them little, pepper and some crypto stuff every now and then.
Yeah. So I wrote an ebook on how to grow on TikTok, and I'm developing a course. I'm not going to release the ebook right now. I plan on releasing it this week, but I'm actually developing a course to go around it, so that way, like, if people buy the book, they can also buy the course if they want. But I didn't go viral just on one video, like all of a sudden, whatever. Like, I've been consistently growing, and I was like at about almost 200,000. And then I hit a viral video that pushed me up to about, 800,000. And then I've continued on from there. But tips for growing TikTok, you just got to make a lot of content and be interesting. And TikTok is the amount of views that I've had on TikTok already in 4 months of making consistent content are way more than every other platform, every other thing I've ever done combined. And a lot of people are having those results because you get organic, like you have organic reach there. So like on Facebook, if you post something, nobody sees it but your friends. And if you have a business page, you got to see to show it to more people. On TikTok, the way TikTok works, any content that you get made, people are going to see. Now, are a lot of people going to see it? That depends on how good the content is.
So that's like one of those things that kind of like snowballs, right? The more people that kind of enjoy it, then it's like, okay, now we're going to start pushing out to more and more people because more and more people like it, and good place to go viral, man. Nice.
Yeah, and as long as people like it and watch it, the most important thing is watch time. So if people are watching all of your video or watching it a few times, then you're going to keep getting shown to more people. I mean, my biggest video has 13.3 million views on it.
Dang, dog. That's crazy.
That's just one video. I have on the app, I think 12.5 million likes on my content. Like, it's crazy, you know, how fast it's all blown up. So, but the main thing is like, you know, I just, and you remember about a year ago, I was telling you about TikTok, and I didn't start making content for several months. If I'd started in the very beginning, like, who knows where I'd be right now.
Well, you're definitely on your way up to the top. You know, where are you at right now as far as like your ranking?
Well, I've discovered there's two separate rankings. So if you're a popular verified creator where TikTok verifies you, you're in a whole different ranking system. So I think there's about 1,000 of those. But for all of the people that are not verified, like you can think of it like on Twitter having the blue check mark, there's only 30 people ahead of me. So, yeah. So what I'm waiting on now, I'm waiting to get verified. I'm going to get verified probably in the next, month or two on TikTok. So that's exciting. I have a verified check mark on there.
Nice.
I want to be so famous. But let's move on. Let's talk about another famous thing that we know, which is the Monarch wallet, which is absolutely phenomenal. Ooh. Everybody knows about the Monarch wallet. And we want to thank our sponsor. The Beers and Bitcoins Crypto Podcast is brought to you by Monarch Wallet. Rule your own financial kingdom from the palm of your hand.
That's right, Ben. The team at Monarch is always working so hard to bring you the one app to access all of the best crypto services. They believe in delivering you tech, not hype, which is great.
Yeah, so with the universal decentralized Monarch wallet, you can buy, store, spend, and earn crypto. And with Monarch Pay, you can set up and accept recurring crypto payments.
Nice. Well, for more information, make sure you check out monarchwallet.com or monarchtoken.io today.
Yeah, and Monarch is, one thing Monarch is doing is spreading adoption. Like, we know that, right? But there was another thing that happened this week that was very interesting in the world of adoption that got a lot of news, which was on The Simpsons, on the longest running TV show in history, The Simpsons. They talked about Bitcoin. They actually gave a full explanation of not just Bitcoin, but digital currency.
I saw the videos on there. No, I didn't get a chance to watch the video because I was out of town this weekend. But I saw, excuse me, in the headlines, all the video stuff. And so like, what was basically, you know, they talked about Bitcoin and blockchain? Is that right?
So and I think this is something that's really cool, okay? Because the Simpsons have made a lot of Bitcoin references before, okay? Mm-hmm. But they were always implying, like there was one episode where Krusty the Clown said like something like he was on the dark web and spent all his Bitcoin. You know, like there's been referencing like negative references to Bitcoin. And we've seen that on a lot of shows. But what made this different is it was like an educational course on what cryptocurrency is. Now, it did have some funny scenes in it. And it was actually, so Lisa is talking to someone. I don't watch The Simpsons enough to know this character. But, well, I guess he's like maybe the scientist in town, something like that. And he says, okay, well, we'll explain it. Let's watch this video. But the video, the person that actually explains it is Jim Parsons. Do you know Jim Parsons?
Yeah, the guy from the scientist show. What's it called?
Yeah, Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Sheldon Cooper.
Thank you. Sheldon Cooper. Thank you.
Right. So Sheldon Cooper is explaining cryptocurrency. And there's one kind of funny thing in the middle where on the Big Bang Theory, at the end of every episode, which, I mean, I'm not a huge Big Bang Theory guy, but at the end of every episode, nerd alert, there's a screen that's just a bunch of text from the creator, right? And it'll be like different funny stuff or interesting stuff, but it only flashes up there for a few seconds. So you have to pause it to read it because it takes like a full minute to read. Well, they did something like that with cryptocurrency in the middle of the explanation. And it was like something about cryptocurrency, and it said cryptocurrency like 25 times in the text. And it said, because if you're into cryptocurrency, you have to let everyone know about cryptocurrency by saying the word cryptocurrency over and over and over again. I thought that was funny because that's a critique on us, obviously.
Absolutely. But in the early days, man, you gotta, the more times you say it, that's how you get that name recognition. You get how you get it out there.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
People do say cryptocurrency a lot. I love how that typically is a trending hashtag in crypto Twitter. Cryptocurrency.
So I did some research and I started looking into other pop culture references for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, because kind of what I was trying to see is if like I could make a video that was like, the Simpsons talk about crypto positively. This is a bull run signal. I'm always trying to do clickbait on my channel. But there really isn't. Like, there's been consistent pop culture references, and explanations of cryptocurrency, like not just negative stuff where people are making fun of it all the time. And that was kind of refreshing to see.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that it's been on like game shows and obviously TV shows and all that stuff. So I think the more times you see it, the more times people hear about it, the better it is for all of us. Because it's been tragic lately. You know that. Oh
man, the markets are not doing great. I mean, we're going to talk about the markets in a little bit, guys. We got a big show for you guys. We're going to be talking about Cardano. We're going to be talking about the coronavirus and how that affects the markets. And then later on in Manspreading, we're going to be talking a little bit about participation trophies. I want to talk about something that happened this week with my kids' soccer league.
Oof.
We'll get there, guys, for sure. But I guess let's go ahead. Let's get this thing kicked off with token time.
Token time. All right. This week for Token Time, we are talking about ADA, otherwise AKA known as Cardano. And they just recently completed a hard fork, if I'm not mistaken, right? It was the implementing a hard fork called Ouroboros BFT, and now the network's running on a better consensus mechanism. So what do you know about this, Ben?
Yeah, so I think it's really important to talk about this Cardano hard fork because we all know hard forks, right? Like Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV. And what happened when they hard forked? Like a new currency was made, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
I think I've got coronavirus.
Oh my gosh, guys. Justin almost just died. I don't know what that was about. But yeah, so when Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV were created, they're a hard fork and they got the miners, a certain group of miners to keep mining and keep sending transactions on the old code. And so what that does is that creates a new currency. That's why people who had, Bitcoin on Coinbase at the time of the Bitcoin Cash fork received Bitcoin Cash in their accounts. But the Cardano hard fork is not the same because all the developers are in agreement that they're going to continue on the new code. They're not going to mess with the old code. So there's no coin created. And so I think it's important because there's a big opportunity for scams with this, for people to say like, oh, this is Cardano Cash, or this is basically just make up a currency. When people know there's a hard fork, scammers can use that to their advantage to say, oh, did you not hear there's a Cardano fork? I got so much of it and I'll sell it to you, and then all of a sudden people send a scammer money and they lose all their money. So this is different because what this fork is basically setting up Cardano for what their next phase of their roadmap is, which is called Shelly. Now, all of their, all of their roadmap,
which is the main net, right?
What's that?
It's the main net. Shelly is the main net. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Well, Shelly, one part of Shelly is the main net. So as they launch Shelly, they will be launching their own main net soon. It's like, it's been forever, Cardano. Like, when is this thing going to happen? Did you know Cardano was started in 2015?
Really?
Yeah. 2015 is when it was started. Now, we know in 2017 was when it got really popular, but Charles Hoskinson split with Ethereum in 2014, I think, the end of 2014, and then started Cardano in 2015. So it's taken them 5 years to launch a mainnet. What do you think about that?
Well, we've talked about it before. That it was always interesting, that they could, it had like, obviously right around the turn of the year in 2018 when we kind of went through like a fierce rush. I think it popped up, if my memory serves me correct, to like the low dollar range, something like that. And that was without any kind of working product, right? And we saw that they kind of hung on for a while, and they stayed relevant with, like you said, with nothing, no product.
Yeah.
And so, here we go. We're finally, at the final stages of things. It'll be interesting to see how everything works, because like you said, it's been years with nothing. But it's Charles has been in, he's got his face in the game. They're always staying relevant somehow. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I think that what their plan has been is we just want to go really slow, and we want to make sure that we get everything completely accurate. So, we don't run into any problems. And I mean, governance isn't even going to be introduced at this point. That's like not introduced for even longer. I think the biggest launch during all 5 phases, I think, is Shelley, because it, is decentralization. It's the main net or whatever. But I don't know, like the timing's really interesting though, because as long as it's taken them to get everything out, like it's still kind of lining up where they're going to be putting their product out about the time that the price of Bitcoin, starts going crazy.
You think that's going to happen this year?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Are you all of a sudden super bearish now because the price of Bitcoin went down? Like what happened? I'm not. I mean, I'm still super bullish. Like we can drop down to 80, 200, 8,500, and I'm still going to be just as bullish as I was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, I'm not. It doesn't turn me bullish. I'm looking for a little bit more excitement, I guess. I think that there's a lot of people looking for a little bit more excitement. I mean, I'm not into, trading, so I don't I don't do shorting or anything like that. So I'm just excited for when things are a little bit better in the market. I mean,
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think things are definitely more exciting when, the market's pumping. But let's move on. But before we do, I do want to mention that we do have a Telegram group, and it's growing. I think we have about 25 members now. We do have a Telegram group. It is called Beards and Bitcoins. You can get it by going to t.me/beards and bitcoins. And that's a great place for you guys that want us to talk about different coins during token time to come on in there and let us know what you want us to talk about, because this is a listener-driven show, and we want your opinion. So joining our Telegram group is the best way to do that. And if that's news to you, that's okay, because now it's time for News Break. News Break. And yes, for News Break today, we are talking about the coronavirus. It's what is on everyone's mind. And I guess the first place to start is to talk about how this is affecting the markets. And it's very interesting the way it seems like it's affecting crypto right now, but it's affecting the stock market as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I saw something. I'm going to pull it up right now. Saw something that the Dow Jones was down like almost 1,000 points today. I mean, yeah, it's affecting not only the crypto market, it's affecting the stock market. It's affecting everything right now, only because the CDC, I think they just came out and said, hey, this is it's not when, it's when this goes pandemic. So, it's coming to the United States. It's coming everywhere. How'd your kids? How'd your wife? It's coronavirus time.
It's very concerning for someone like me that has kids, for sure. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But we really want to start first with talking about how this is affecting the market. And so I really listened to someone talk about how the coronavirus is actually affecting dollars across the world.
Okay.
So Asian people are being discriminated against right now. So if Asian people are flying, people are requesting not to sit next to them. People are refusing to get on planes with people that they think came over from Asia. And so what that is doing is that's making it to where Asian people don't want to travel at all. And that amount, just the travel factor with all of the dollars lost by airlines, by, tourism, travel, vacation resorts and things like that. And people aren't wanting to go to crowded places either. So they're not wanting to go to the movie theater, and we're seeing this not just in Asia, but in Italy. And this is getting ready to come to America as well. We saw a cruise ship where there were people stranded on it for days and days and days. And, it's really scary what it's doing, but there's an underlying value. So check this out. There's nothing that my wife loves more than me. No, that's not true, actually. The thing she loves the most is the Olympics. She may love me more than the Olympics. I haven't decided.
Oh, so I saw that they came out with a thing today about that, where they said, it wouldn't be postponed; it would be canceled.
Yeah, they are looking at postponing the Olympics. So let me get some numbers. So the Olympic Committee came out and said that Japan has put $12 billion into the Olympics. Japan came out and said it's double that. It's $25 billion is what they put in. Because you got to think about this for the Olympics. Like you have the stadiums, you have all of the like in Atlanta, we built Atlantic Centennial Park. You're doing renovations everywhere. You're widening lanes, doing road work. And then like all the tourism there, the hotels, all the hospitality places, like they're expecting this huge surge. And like they've been counting on this. And that's why they've been willing to like maybe pay more taxes. Then all of a sudden it's canceled. It's just gone. So
Jeez, that's crazy.
Yeah. Like they've never canceled the Olympics for anything but war.
Man, what if this is biological warfare?
Well, that's what people are saying. I mean, people are asking, like, it's hard because if you go into something with a confirmation bias, like you can always find it. So like, if you want to believe that this is man-made or that this is a Chinese plan, like you can Google that or do YouTube research on it and you can find information that says that. If you believe that that's a conspiracy and it's real or it's not real, then you search that and you can find that information too. So where does the truth lie? I don't know, but people are saying that this is man-made.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm not the biggest conspiracy theorist, but it's just really interesting, man. Like, and like, why are they treating people in hazmat suits for like the flu?
Did you see the video of them pulling?
Yeah, that was a training video, right?
No,
the fishnet thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said, yeah, that was so funny. I think that somebody said that was like a training video and used to scare people, like, don't even think about trying to drive with the virus because we'll find you. Because they said something about, like, just the way that the security truck came out and, like, the rumble strip that they threw by but then was gone. So, like, he would have actually had time to go through.
Yeah.
Some weird.
Well, I talked to a guy. I talked to Terry from IOST. He's the co-founder. He's been on the podcast before. Mm-hmm. And he's in China. He's in Beijing. And he was explaining it to us like the government, in his opinion, the government has way overblown like what's happening there, like in like preventing people from being able to go to work. He's like, dude, it's tough. Like he can't leave his house. He literally can't leave his house. He's been at his house for weeks now.
That's crazy. What happens if you run out of food?
I don't know. I mean, dude, they have blocks of streets like blocked off with military standing in a. I mean, dude, this sounds like something from The Walking Dead or something.
Yeah, right. Wow, that's crazy. Like, so what do you do? Like, I mean, are there humanitarian companies or associations or whatever organizations in there like delivering food to people? Like,
it's a good question.
Like, how are these people eating? Like, because I don't know. I mean, I've probably got a few weeks worth of food in my house. Maybe not right now because we just got back into town, but typically at least something to get you through a week or two. I'm not a prepper. Maybe I should.
These are conversations that me and my wife are having right now. Like, what do we do if if this gets really, really bad? Like, because we actually need to start planning now. So we're actually like talking through conversations right now because, I mean, we're in a pretty fortunate spot because I work from home, she doesn't work, and our kids are homeschooled. So it actually wouldn't affect our life that much if we got stuck here, but it would affect my kids' travel soccer, my daughter's in tennis. Mm-hmm. They go to school one day a week, at a little co-op place. And then me and my wife both go to the gym every day. So outside of those things, we could carry on like normal. But most people aren't in that situation. You got to go to work or whatever. But I don't know. I mean, we could probably make it if we were stuck here right now, like we could probably make it a few weeks, but we're trying to figure out like, okay, we need to have some backup plans in case this thing gets really bad, like if people are, but here's the good news. The good news is for me anyways, is that if it does get really bad, then what are people going to do? They're not going to be able to work. They're just going to have to sit at home watching YouTube and my channel's going to blow up, son.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Always looking at the silver lining in there.
Got to find it, you know? So it would be disruptive to our life, but I mean, we'll probably go the route to go buy a bunch of bottled water and get a lot of like, you know, peanut butter, and which will really mess up my diet, but you know, whatever, I guess.
You still doing that keto? You still doing that keto thing?
All year, bro. I've lost 15 pounds and now I'm feeling good. I've been running 3 5Ks a week. So.
Whoa, good for you, sir.
Dude. Yeah, and working, you know, doing the gym thing, working out. I'm gonna get healthy, gonna get in peak shape just to die from the coronavirus.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah, it's gonna be real rough when I get killed.
But
let's pop up for you guys that are watching on YouTube. Let's pop up the Corona Tracker. This is a website that tracks the coronavirus and the cases, and we're gonna, you know, for you that are just listening, we're gonna give you guys some numbers. You know, obviously the bulk of this thing is in China, but you want to start going over some of this, Jay?
Yeah, absolutely. So, according to the COVID-19 global cases by the Johns Hopkins CSSE, right now there's 80,994 confirmed cases, with a little over 78,000 of those coming from mainland China, 1,100, a little over from South Korea. Other notables, 322 in Italy. I know that number has jumped like super quick in like no time.
Yeah.
Iran 95 was a quick one. US 57. I think that that was more than I originally had thought were here in the States.
Well, I just heard 35 the other day. So,
one in San Antonio too. We can zoom in on for our US folks, see where you stack up.
Yeah. So it looks like there's a lot of cases in California, some in the Northeast, some around Toronto, none in the Southeast. So I'm feeling pretty good. There's one in Chicago. Is there any in New York City?
I
one
hope
in
not, because
Phoenix.
that was
It
just
looks like Boston. There's one in Boston.
Yep. Chicago, somewhere in like Madison, Wisconsin, probably, right?
It looks like Madison. Yep. So we don't have any deaths here yet.
California. I mean, California is like, I mean, obviously that's a natural place for most of those to be because of the entryway in from the Asian and the over there.
Yeah, one thing about Atlanta, at least, is our airport is so serious about stuff like this because it's so busy. Has so many people going through. Like they're treating anybody who they think might have been exposed, you know, coming from overseas or whatever. Like they got to go through like a full hazmat process. I think something like that. My wife was telling me about it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, just absolutely crazy to hear like these stories of how like everything is changing and like people are getting pissed. I know that there was, you know, I think there was the Americans that were being flown over with a stop, you know, I think in somewhere in the Pacific Northwest, wherever that was, and then they brought them, you know, into like San Diego or LA or something like that. People were like freaking out, like, "Oh, don't bring them here."
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, that's how people feel. I mean, keep this thing away, and I feel pretty good about being in the Southeast and us not having anyone anywhere close to us, but you know Florida's going to mess that up soon.
Dude, Florida messes everything up.
Florida
That's just sorry
everything.
if you're in Florida, I'm real sorry for you. I used to live there, so I used to live over by Fort Myers, man. Did you know that they actually film, or I don't know if they still do, but back in the day, that's where they filmed like a majority of the episodes of Cops was in Fort Myers and like the surrounding cities there.
Interesting. Did not know that. I used to live in Miami myself for about 6 months when I was younger. But well, I mean, obviously when I was younger, not when I was older. But yeah, so let's talk, let's get off this tracker real quick and let's talk a little bit about, what the prospects for Bitcoin are within coronavirus. And I know it sounds morbid to like, there are people out there that like, if the price of Bitcoin goes up, if the Corona outbreak gets a lot worse, like they'll be really excited. Like, yes, go Corona. Like you're making my bags pump or whatever. Like that's not how I feel. I don't know about you, but I don't want to see, I don't want to see people suffering. Don't want to see war. Don't want to see, you know, bad stuff for the sake of Bitcoin to go up.
Yeah, no, I'm not one of those people. I know that you see, you know, some of those posts. I think those are just some people hopefully just trying to be funny because you should never wish people any kind of harm just so that you can make some money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's terrible.
Yeah, absolutely it's terrible. It's terrible. But yeah, it's bad. But if Bitcoin really is a hedgeable asset to where people in times of panic would look for, you know, something to be able to put their money in, you would think that something like Corona would help Bitcoin. But at the same time, it's crashing gold as well, isn't it? Let me look at the gold markets.
I mean, I think everything's
everything
crashing right now. Everything, the stock market's way down here in the United States. It's interesting how you have like some people with perspective of, yeah, it's going to be like good for us or it's going to be bad. Like I think that it's not going to. I personally think it's not going to affect the price in a positive way. It's going to affect it, continue to affect it in a negative way because people, I think they're going to find something that's not speculative as much as Bitcoin is. I think it's just too volatile, and like if you see it dropping, you're not. I mean, although once it gets to a reasonable price, you may just hop in just because it'll go back up eventually.
Yeah, this is on the 1 minute chart. I don't want the 1 minute gold chart. Let me get the the daily gold chart. Yeah, gold definitely took a real big hit yesterday. It dropped from 1660 down to 1630, which is a huge drop in anything but crypto. Crypto, that's just normal. But so, all markets right now are taking a hit. And I think it's, we talked a little bit at the beginning of this segment about, what that actually looks like and why these markets are taking a hit. But, one thing that's really interesting to me is that, this is kind of coinciding with the time that Bitcoin should be going up because of the halving. So are we going to see kind of a perfect storm maybe for Bitcoin to absolutely pump, or are we going to see this coronavirus hold Bitcoin back?
Ooh, dude, I think I just like the way that you put it there. I'm hoping that this is the volcano about ready to just explode.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Who knows, man? We're all just guessing. Everyone's just making up guesses because no one knows except for the whales that are manipulating it.
Moon Lambo. Let's get it. Moon Lambo.
Moon Lambo. When, baby?
When. There's no H in when. If you guys are new to crypto, it's just when.
When. WEN. When Moon. When Lambo.
Yeah, for sure. But the coronavirus is very dangerous. As a parent, and not just a parent, but as a family member. Like, I have a wife, I have kids, I have brothers and sisters. Well, I have brothers and a sister. They have families. Got parents, grandparents, all in this area. Like, it's scary when you start thinking about like how many people and like if this thing really starts spreading, like you got to worry about yourself and your own family first. But I mean, this thing in China is growing so fast that it's crazy. Like when I was looking at these numbers on this chart, it was really crazy. Let me pull it right back up here. Because it's got a listing over there that says the amount recovered compared to the amount of cases. And so the amount of total confirmed cases is 81,000. The total of amount of people who've recovered from the virus is 30,000. That means we got 51,000 people out there that still have this thing right now.
Oof.
And that's scary.
And that's just the people that are reported. And in my opinion, and I think that a lot of people share the same opinion, that things may be worse. The guy said that the government's making it seem worse than it actually is, right?
No. Well, what he said is that the government's response to it is too strong. He wasn't actually talking about the amount of cases. So,
okay, I see.
I think most people are in agreement that China is underreporting the cases for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, yeah, they may be underreporting them 100%. Like it literally may be twice as much, or more. I mean,
I've a feeling this thing is probably near 500,000.
Yeah, you know what? It's just so crazy because we've seen like bird flu, swine flu, like we've seen all this stuff before, and it's like it never really takes off. But this one is seeming like it's something different, and it's getting pretty concerning. So we got to move on. I think we could probably talk, in my opinion, about this all day long because it is just absolutely fascinating. But we definitely do have to move on here. But before we do, I do want to remind you. What's that?
Make sure you check out the website.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out beardsandbitcoins.com. You can sign up for your 21 best Bitcoin practices there. Absolutely free guide. All you got to do is go to the website, put your email address in, and boom, you're going to get that free guide. It's great if you're new to crypto. It's great if you're not new to crypto. It's a good reminder on some things. So let's definitely, you guys head over there to beardsandbitcoins.com. You can also check out all of our episodes there and things like that. So, all right, well, let's.
We won't spam you. We won't spam you either. I promise.
Yeah.
We promise you that.
Absolutely no spam. We're real small on spam. So, but let's take some time for just a minute here and let's be dudes. Manspreading.
All right, this week for manspreading, we're going to talk about controversial in the youth sports world. We're talking about participation trophies. Is it cool? Is it necessary? Is it a good idea? Let's talk about how this works in the kind of the fundamentals of growing up in a competitive sport, regardless if you think you're going to go pro or not, and how it affects maybe your mentality of winning or losing when everybody wins, supposedly.
Yeah, so usually when we do a manspreading segment, like Justin and I, like we really try to take opposite sides, even if we agree on stuff. But I can tell you, neither one of us are going to come out in favor of participation trophies.
I wasn't taking the hit on that. No way.
Not a chance. So, yeah, that could permanently affect my reputation. I want to win. I want to win now, and I want my trophy. And if I lose, first of all, I want to knock somebody out. Second of all, like I definitely don't want a trophy. Man, maybe we should have talked about that boxing match. That thing was crazy too. But, yeah, so I want to talk about, like, so when you're a kid growing up and you're playing sports, like, and your team doesn't win first or second place, like, you get a trophy a lot of times. You get these participation trophies. And so like James Harrison, he's played on the Steelers. He would throw his kids away when they would get – he wouldn't throw his kids away. He would throw his kids' trophies away when they would get participation trophies. And that really just shows, like, yeah, if you want people to be competitive, you have to teach them, the importance of winning.
Yeah. I mean, I think it just goes to – I mean, everything that you see about, how maybe like some of the generations that are growing up now are a little bit softer. I mean, they don't go outside and play in the dirt anymore. It's mostly just sitting on the phone. And this is not for everybody. Obviously, this is just kind of like where you see most of society going. But yeah, dude, it's just something that is part of growing up. At least I also played sports, and it was the competitive nature of the whole thing. Like, not everybody wins it. And I don't want to come off as like too strong about this topic, but definitely, like, there are winners and there's losers, man. And I think everybody's just getting a little too soft.
Well, I'll tell you, I gave a very fiery speech to a bunch of 4 and 5 year olds when I coached soccer.
Nice.
Yeah. When my kid was 5. And we were going for back-to-back championships. Okay, we played in a soccer league that started keeping score from the time they were 4, and I really liked that. And I told the kids, even though they had no understanding of what I was saying, listen, kids, this could be the pinnacle of your life, okay? I know you're only 5, but you may never get a chance again to win a championship in a sport, much less 2 in a row. And we won the championship. We were 2-time champions. It was huge.
It was your speech. It was your speech. You pepped them up. You got them motivated, and they won.
A dang good coach. I mean, I can out-strategize anybody. I can take kids with less talent, and we can win, okay? Because I'm like Art of War over here, okay? But last year, my kid played soccer, and we moved. And so in the new league, at 7 years old, they weren't keeping score. Of course, we were keeping score in our head. There was no tournament at the end. There was nothing, and it really irritated me. So, but – he played football in the fall, and then in the spring, he's like, you know what? I really want to go back to soccer. Like, soccer's, he's really good at soccer. He made the all-star team or whatever. So we said, we're going to do travel soccer. So I'm not his coach this year. It's the first time ever I haven't been his coach. And it's been hard for me on the sidelines watching, but it was like, to me, the way they're doing the soccer league, like, it kind of carries over with that same attitude, because it's the same academy that we played in last year, but last year was rec, where they didn't keep score. And it's like, all they do at practice is passing drills. And like, they don't ever play any real scrimmages or any actual soccer. It's just like drills the whole entire time. And what, Jay?
All I can see is you on the sidelines, just coaching from the sidelines for sure. Are you doing that?
I want to, really. I'm yelling at my kid. Yeah. But I'm trying to yell.
Good.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a little more of a passive role, but we played in a tournament this weekend, and it was his first time playing real games in the travel league. and we got smoked 3 games in a row. And I could
Ooh.
tell that the other team actually practices playing real soccer. Like our kids, they get out there and they have no idea what to do because they're not playing. All they're doing is drills all the time. And it's like all these coaches are trying to do is get these kids like better at soccer. But like, what's the point in getting better if you're not winning games? Like, are all of these kids going to end up going and playing in high school or playing in college? Like, for some of them, this is the most fun time of their life. And I feel like they should have the experience of being able to like be competitive and win and like actually play soccer, not just focus on like, okay, let's do this passing drill for 30 minutes, you know? So
you're gonna have to join the league like board committee. This way you can start bringing this stuff up at all the meetings, take the minutes.
Yeah.
Say this is what we're doing now. We're making this a league.
Well, I want to make my own team. I'll make my own dang leagues. What else?
You're going to be like the XFL of youth soccer.
Dang right, I will. We'll be out there. There's no practice. You just play games all the time, and it's real serious. But yeah, I mean, so I don't know. Like for me personally, like it is really difficult to sit on the sideline. Even my son said tonight, he said, Dad, why are you not coaching me? And I said, son, like I'm not a soccer player. Like I didn't play soccer. Like there's a point where he can get to with like real coaches that I feel like I can't get him to, you know, like I saw last year when I coached the last year, even at 7 and 8, like I'm playing against coaches that actually played soccer and know more about soccer. And like on some level that matters.
I mean, it makes sense. Like I got one of my buddies that I grew up with. He was one of those like lifelong soccer players, like still to this day, like in our age, you know, plays soccer and that's his like profession. He's a coach and a trainer and all that stuff. And so that's what he did go on to do that. But, you know, it's always funny in my day job, I've got to deal with a lot of the soccer coaches for collegiate teams. And they're all like English dudes that,
oh gosh,
and they don't know how to book a bus to save their life.
You would think they know how to book a double-decker bus.
Hip, hip, cheerio.
Cheerio. So anyways, I know like, dude, I grew up playing baseball, football, basketball. My kid, I did play soccer when I was real young. I almost regret not playing more soccer because I mean I was pretty good, but I mean I like baseball better, but baseball is just not the same as it was, and you know, as it was when I was a kid. Like kids don't really have the patience for it. My youngest son, he plays baseball and he likes it, but my oldest one really likes soccer. And soccer, I will say this, like soccer is one of the most entertaining sports to watch for kids. For adults, they're so good they hardly ever score. It's kind of boring, you know, but for kids, like you feel like your kid's always out there doing something. Like with football, like, you know, most of the plays are not even close to the ball, you know. With baseball, most of the plays, the ball's not coming to them. But with soccer, like they're always engaged. So it's really fun to watch as a parent. But yeah.
That's good. I was not a soccer fan. I didn't play soccer. I ended up being friends with all the soccer players, so I understand the game. It just was not my game of choice. I didn't like running that much, man. Like I can't like run around. I did just couldn't do it.
All the soccer players that went to my high school were on the cross country team. Like that's all they did is run. I was like, I don't want any of that at all. So, but anyway, so we're gonna put a poll. We want to know what you guys think about competitiveness. Like, right? We feel like it should be like part of a man's job is to be competitive. Like you shouldn't get run over. Right. You should be an alpha. Don't be a little beta baby biznatch. Okay.
Soy boys need not apply.
That's right. That's right. So we want to know, do you believe in participation trophies? And if you do, we'll put up a poll and let us know. And if you do say that you do think participation trophies are good, then we'll definitely roast you and make fun of you. So that's a winner. But yeah, so we're going to put that poll up. But listen, guys, let's make sure that we thank our podcast sponsor, the Beards and Bitcoin sponsor, Monarch. We certainly do appreciate them. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Beards and Bitcoins Crypto Podcast. Each week, we're bringing you news, information, and stories to spread awareness about cryptocurrency.
That's right. We are. And if you enjoyed this episode or any others, please leave us a rating and review on your preferred podcast delivery platforms. Help us spread the word by sharing your favorite episodes with your friends on social media. We will love you forever.
That's right.
And ever.
And ever. And don't forget to visit our website, beardsandbitcoins.com. Or join our Telegram group. You can find that at t.me/beards and bitcoins. Did you like that singing?
Dude, that was like, man, you like serenaded me right in my ear. I loved every bit of it.
I'm angelic. What can I say? So, all right, guys, that is going to be it for us today. We will talk to you guys later.
See you.